I want to start off again by thanking our fans, especially our students. It's back-to-back weeks of just incredible support and having a lot of fun from pregame all the way through the end of the game, singing the fight song. And we're not even in school yet, so excited for that and very thankful. As far as the game, I think our defense is working diligently to improve. Obviously the way that we performed against the rush today, against a very physical football team, I thought was a very positive step forward, and that will continue to be something that we're going to need to work on. We need to be a little bit more disciplined with our underneath coverage, pass-wise, but for the most part, pretty much contained everything that we thought we might see outside of that one drive that we didn't respond to very well in the first half. Offensively, this is why I tell you guys on every Monday that stats are for losers, right? Okay, so it was as unbelievable a ball movement, containing or keeping possession of the ball, putting together great drives, picking up third downs. I can keep going on and on and on. Time of possession. At the end of the day, we've got to turn those 3 into 7 as we move forward, and we've got to finish drives. And a lot of those issues that we had in those drives were self-inflicted, either by drops, by penalties, by not hitting guys that are open. So we're still a work in progress on both sides of the ball. And then the kick game, again, had a couple of new guys out there again, but when we needed to perform, we did. I thought our punt return team, again, got us going, got us good field position. And then we had a chance to down 2 punts inside the 5-yard line. We executed, obviously, the one that mattered, the second one. And then, again, a great job by our defense going out and shutting the door, getting a 3 and out, getting us a drive. Really happy and proud for Mike Trumpy. It's been a long road back for Michael. Tremendous young man from a great family, a Chicago kid, obviously having a great time playing for Chicago's Big Ten team, and really proud of him stepping up. He got a little banged up in the game, and now it was Mike's turn to pick up the flag and go, and he did that, and really happy and really proud of him. Again, it's going to be a critical week for us to improve. We're not where we want to be yet as far as putting 3 phases together in a clean fashion. But again, a lot of credit to Boston College, Coach Spaz, and those young men are tough, they're physical. We thought it was going to be that kind of game, and I thought we were a little bit better in the physical department than we were a week ago, but we'll continue to improve on that. So with that, how about some questions, please?
Wasn't really anything specific. It did seem like in the red zone, a lot of different things, a fumble, some overthrows. I mean, was there any kind of general problems you saw down there, or was it kind of a little of everything?
I think it was a little bit trying to put your finger in the dam. It's a fumble that is inexcusable on a 4th down play, and then obviously that was a huge swing. That's a 14-point swing per se, right? Or at least a 10-point swing where we're going in, and if we take the points, we get 3, and then we end up giving up a personal foul penalty. We got a lot of things we got to clean up. Way too many penalties today. And I'll take a look at the tape and make a personal assessment. And not share any of my thoughts with that on you guys, but at the end of the day, I'll share it with Billy Carollo from a standpoint of just communicating, making sure we coach our guys better. That's what I want to look at. I want to see how we can coach our guys better to be more disciplined. But we got to play smarter, especially in the red zone.
Fitz, on the play where Benrick fumbles, is that where he got banged up? And then just talk about then going to Trumpy and what he gave you.
Yeah, I think that's what happened, Teddy. I got to watch the tape, specifically to figure out if that's exactly where it was, Teddy. But I believe that's where he got a little banged up. Was it Tabale who got the ball?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to. No, it wasn't. Half yard. It was lineman's dream. Bumbling, stumbling, and rumbling. But Johnny on a spot, right place, right time for Brandon. But we got to take care of the ball. We put the ball on the ground 3 times today, and we finished -1 on the turnover ratio, I think. It's not good enough to win. So a lot of things we got to clean up. And then Michael, just really proud of the way he stepped up. It was his turn, his opportunity, and he did a great job of just doing what Mike does. He's a physical back. I think unfortunately through the injury, Teddy, I think he really embraced, as he was getting healthy, spending time in the weight room. And big physical guy. So far so good with Mike with the ball in his hands. The pile's going the way we want it to go every time he touches it, so that's positive.
Pat, with Benrick, was it his leg or what?
Yeah, he got a lower body injury, so I'll be very vague. How does that sound? I get accused of being too specific.
Coach, I just wanted to ask you about the play at the front 4 on defense. It seems like not only were they able to shut down the middle with Boston College's rushing game, but they're also able to keep Chase Reddick on the run a lot. you could talk about what the front four is able to do.
Yeah, so far in the season, I think that group's been really active outside of about 8 minutes in the kind of fourth quarter at Syracuse where we were gassed. I mean, there's no sugarcoating that. I mean, that game, we ran out of steam there for a little while, and outside of that, I think that front's played really well. It's great to have Deontay back today. He's, in my opinion, as tough of a young man that's in our program right now. A couple weeks ago, he's got a pretty nasty elbow injury, and Tuesday, he was supposed to go out and just hit a bag, and he looked at our athletic training staff and said, I'm practicing. That's a tough guy, and really proud of him just being back out there today. But the whole group, obviously the 3 seniors are doing, the 2 seniors, I should say, are doing a great job leading, in Arnie and Q. Those 2 guys are doing a tremendous job leading that group, and everybody's following that charge.
So 3 weeks, 3 BCS teams, 3 wins. What have you learned about your team so far through these first 3 weeks?
I think we're in pretty good shape, cardiovascular-wise. We played a lot of plays, and from that standpoint, I think that we're in pretty good shape. Number 2, I think we're playing a lot of guys. I think we've got solid depth at this point. I'm knocking on wood right now. We've stayed relatively healthy, and hopefully we'll be able to continue to do that. But from that standpoint, I think that we got a hungry team. I think they've got a look in their eye right now that they're embracing improvement, and we're no way, shape, or form where we want to be quite yet. So, mission accomplished. We've gone 3-0 or 1-0 3 times, and now hopefully we'll just continue to embrace getting better.
Vince, would you say it was a mixed bag for your quarterbacks today, and were you surprised you got Christian Jones open in the end zone and King wasn't able to hit it there?
Yeah, it's like anything. The quarterbacks, I think from the standpoint, when I look at their stat line together, combined, what were they, 30 for 40? It's pretty good. So, I like that we're raising expectations, but I'm also a realist, and we're not going to make every play, and it's not going to be perfect. So, again, I can't stress this enough. We're a work in progress. We're not where we want to be yet. We've now put together 3 phases of 60-minute football yet. And until we do that, I don't think anybody in our ball club is going to be very satisfied with our performances. So hopefully we can just continue to work hard to get better in practice. That's all we can do.
Before today, did you think Trumpy was healthy enough to give you a 100-yard game?
Yeah, I do. I thought Mike early in camp. I'll go back, and this I don't want to speak for Mike, okay, but I'll go back to every major injury that I've been a part of as a position coach or the head coach, and then I'll go back to my personal experiences, and this is where I try to lean on guys, and I keep a keen eye on him. I thought Michael, the roller coaster of the injury, the devastation, and then the coming back, and then being maybe a little rusty early in camp from a standpoint of just he needed to get that thing twisted back up again to kind of give the old exhale, I'm fine. It's, everything's back. It might feel a little differently, but I'm back. And I thought that happened maybe about sometime the end of the first week or maybe the second week of training camp. And then I think since then he's just gained more and more confidence. And, he's last year I think he was averaging over 4.5 yards per carry before he got hurt. So, just again, proud of the way he's come back, proud of the way he's fought through this thing. And, hopefully he'll just continue to get stronger as the year goes along.
Coach, in the past couple of games, Trevor's often been in toward the end of games. This time he really stuck with Kane. He was in for the bulk of the second half stats. Was there something, or second half snaps? So
Yep.
Was there something that really impressed you today about Kane, and did he show some sort of improvement that could keep him on the field?
Well, we made a decision that we felt like, especially with the way the flow of the game was going, that we could control the line of scrimmage. And we made a full commitment to run the football. And, it's a credit to our offensive line. I'll take a look at some of those holding calls. And make sure we get our guys coached up properly to make sure we have superior hands and keep moving our feet. And we can still be better out there on the perimeter. But with that being said, we just felt like, up front, we're starting to come together a little bit. And that, especially as we got win in halftime, we really felt like we were controlling the line of scrimmage pretty well in the offensive line.
Pat, with that special teams play late, just how that changed the field position to really seal it out. Just your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we're starting to grow up a little bit in that area. I think we're starting to mature. 2 weeks ago we had, or I guess now 3 weeks ago the game's over, we had a bunch of young guys out there with their first experience. And we changed a couple pieces to the puzzle this week. So we had some guys maybe get their first experience just from the way they've been practicing, and they deserve the opportunity, earned the opportunity to go out there. So I think it goes back to what I alluded to earlier. We really looked at this first 4 games as an opportunity, number 1, to figure out our identity. Number 2, to add to our depth. we had a plan that we wanted to play a lot of guys. This is a marathon approach, not a sprint approach. And, hopefully it'll continue to pay dividends as we move forward, especially in the kicking game.
Jeff made 6 field goals all last season. You're 6 for 10.
Yep.
He's made 8 this year. Is there something that you noticed?
I don't think there's anything different with Jeff. I think he's just had more opportunities. I think Jeff is excited that he's getting a lot of reps, but I still think he'd prefer to see our offense scoring touchdowns, and he just hit kicks PATs. So, that's an 11-man job now. It's got to be a great snap from Patrick, a tremendous hold by Brandon. Obviously, Jeff's got to do what he does best, and that's trust his technique and his fundamental. He's been very, very consistent going back, I thought, to the end of last year with his mental approach, his physical approach, and his routine into the way that he approaches every kick like it's a game rep to win the game. And he's just been really, really consistent. And then obviously the protection. I think the offensive line and the guys we bring in there from defense are doing a great job. And I'm not surprised. I haven't seen anything different. I think Jeff is just doing his job and taking great pride in it and doing it humbly and having fun while he's doing it.
That over here. How do you deal with the 2 quarterbacks? I mean, in terms of like keeping them happy, or is that something that even goes through your mind?
No, I don't think that's ever gone through. I'm not in the business of keeping people happy. I'm in the business of winning football games and doing it whatever way we can. And I would say both guys are happy because we're winning. And I would say, going 30 for 40 in the way that we didn't score touchdowns, I think both guys are not satisfied with the way that they've played. And, we're in a good place. We've got 1A and 1B, and those 2 guys can go move the ball, move our offense. Obviously, they've both proven that they can move our offense, and they can be efficient and effective with what we're doing. And, I think we've got a good situation there.
Pat, you said that the first 4 games you want to find out what your identity is. What's your identity after 3? Do you have a pretty good idea?
Without watching this tape, I would say this. I think we're starting to come together on both lines. That's what we wanted to see where we were at. Nobody else in the conference played 3 BCS teams, and we have. And we knew that we had to improve up front on both sides of the ball for us to win these football games and get us where we needed to go. And I don't think we're the finished product by any stretch of the imagination, but that was kind of priority number 1. Number 2, we wanted to start to figure out who our playmakers were in all 3 phases. And I think that's starting to show. I really do. Chichi Iraguzo, he gets that interception. He's probably, again, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. So he's playing pretty well right now. I think the front is giving him that chance. And, I think from a kicking game standpoint, I think our identity is right now, I still think we're playing too young. We're making too many young mistakes, little things. They don't show up in the stat sheet. They don't show up until you watch the video. But too many little one-man breakdowns that we've got to do a better job. I got to do a better job coaching. So I think our identity is this. I think we're a team that's gone 1-0 3 times that has not played their best 60 minutes of football yet. To me, that's encouraging.
It's big news this morning about the facility. What excites you about it?
Well, I'll tell you, I think first and foremost, I want to say thank you, obviously, to a lot of people. It starts with, our great president, Morty Shapiro. There's no one more passionate about the student experience and the student-athlete experience here on our campus. And, it's just been great to have him on board. I can't thank Mr. Osborne and our Board of Trustees enough for their support. Mr. Siegel and the entire group on educational properties working through the process that we've had, to work us down now to a great place with, the facilities plan and kind of where we're going to go. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without the best athletic director in the country, and Jim Phillips has been just, the term I would use is relentless. He's done everything in his power, I think, number 1, to educate myself and to educate everybody in this process by being just tireless in his effort to go out and see the things that and where people are at and where things are going to go. But I think overall, from a standpoint of the announcement this morning, it's transformational for our university. This is an opportunity for our entire university to come together. First and foremost, for our students and our student athletes to completely be unified and have just an unbelievable community feel on the best campus in the country. To take our recreation and our facilities, and for all of our students, to a place that they've never been here. Not when you and I were on campus, and where it's going to go, I'm not quite sure, but it's pretty spectacular. In specific for our football program, this is a game changer. this completely changes the landscape of Big Ten football and college football. No one else will have the opportunity to talk about a state-of-the-art facility in the location that we have. And the number one selling aspect outside of the best education in BCS football and the opportunity to play Big Ten football has always been our campus. And now to have a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week, 365-day a year, state-of-the-art facility that no one else can match in college football, I think raises the bar as far as expectations for ourselves individually as a program, for our entire athletic department, and then obviously for all of our fans to embrace. So, you know, I got a couple of text messages I checked. I've already had a bunch of people pledge donations. So, you know, this has kind of been going on behind the scenes a little bit for a while now, and I cannot thank our administration. I cannot thank our entire university administration, like I said, especially Morty and Mr. Osborne, you know, and obviously Mr. Siegel and Jim, and obviously to Pat Ryan. You know, things don't happen at our university without the incredible generosity, you know, thorough planning and thought process of Mr. Ryan, and you know, it's special to have him in part of our football program, and he spoke to the team for the first time up in Kenosha, and to have that kind of message was special. So I haven't even told the guys. I mean, they don't even have an idea yet, so I'll probably address that with them. And, you know, obviously for recruiting, I think it speaks for itself. And I'll talk more about that as we move forward. But I don't care where anybody else builds a facility. They won't be building it on the shores of Lake Michigan like we will.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks so much. Have a great night.